Welcome to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. We are on episode 30 and today is a very big episode as we are on a very special number. Last time we saw the full annexation of Olive because of, well, mostly Lavender, but also Night Blue, who is attacking the old lands of Olive. But Peanut Brown also wanted a part of Olive, and it's a pretty big war here in Mesopotamia. We also saw the countries expand their borders more into the Sahara, and of course Yellow returned. We will first take a look at Slate, as they are going to adventure and expand their lands in China. They first expand their borders around the coast, alongside the coast, right here where they first got on land. We see them take a major part of the new part of the continent. There are major expeditions leading the Slates for a new part of their country. And eventually they are here in the north and they stop with venturing, well, in the north, and they are going to connect their two lands and they know are pretty close together. As one group goes here to the south alongside the coast and gets this peninsula and goes on this island as well. They quickly sail further south and come back to this part of their land. And then here is going to be a northern expedition and they connect up the land together as well. And now Slate has a full connection from Vietnam to China. We also see a couple of major settlements popping up after a few years, also a few more inlandwards, and the most northern one. This peninsula and this island gets a major city, and here along the coast we have a few popping up as well, and also just in the old Mint territory. We see a couple of major cities popping up in the places they already got a few episodes back, a few on the islands. They are growing fast. And at last Slate is going on the Indonesian islands and they claim even more land for themselves. And they complete the southern Indonesian mission and they have claimed almost every island. They go back up north and to the south here and they just claim the whole island. Last few islands are discovered before they return home. But there's now even a group going more towards the north and they want to find even more valuable land. They go alongside the coast. Their expedition goes pretty well. As they sort of forget the old Lavender tactic, they stay to the coastline. They go all the way alongside the coast and they find more valuable land for in the future. Cartographers figure out that there is a landing here, that they can make a landing back to their, well, place where they sort of started. And they know that, and after a few months of settling here and sailing back and forth, we see two major settlements popping up as well. Furthermore, we see Slate discovering Korea, and they are now at the southern tip of that island. And they go back up, but they stop right here as they sort of figure out how this land forms. They go back north and they claim a little bit more, and that's it for Slate for now, as their empire is going to grow. Lavender also wants to grow a little bit and wants to connect more of their main land, and we see their expedition being successful. And now we continue to look at the war with Night Blue, Peanut Brown, Olive in a, well, little part as well, and Lavender. As Night Blue is now going to attack back the Peanut Browns and they capture another settlement. But Peanut Brown has an advantage, as they are pretty good at holding back the Night Blues in the south. But in the north it's a little bit harder. And after a while, Night Blue thickens their front. But then Peanut Brown gets an attack that they didn't expect it to happen at all. Because Dark Blue attacks Peanut Brown and captured their whole capital in a matter of a few days. Peanut Brown has been attacked by none other than Dark Blue. But a country up north is especially not happy because of that happening. they see a sort of ally fall into the hands of an old empire they don't want to see return. And because of that, Amethyst opens the war on Dark Blue, and they capture a few settlements in a few weeks. They hold off the Dark Blues pretty well, but Dark Blue now has to hold on a pretty great front with, of course, Peanut Brown, who sends their forces more back up to the capital, but also they have to hold off the Amethysts. And they are now in a war that maybe Lavender didn't want it really to happen. They themselves wanted to capture Blue, but now it's happening all just in a matter of time, all automatically because of every country reacting to one another. Purple stays for now neutral in this war and sees their, well, western friends maybe slowly die for good. Night Blue attacks more of Peanut Brown as they know the capital is lost, and they march more inside their land. They do defeat more Night Blues in the south as no more troops are arriving via the sea because Lavender is holding them off. It's a really good tactic by Lavender, but they really let, well, Peanut Brown win here in that fact. Peanut Brown is able to capture another settlement, and they slowly kill all of the Night Blues. All of them. They go back up north to their old capital, and they almost free it. And Amethyst is also here for the help, and they defeat every other blue soldier. And they go up north, and they are now on a quest to defeat Dark Blue once and for all. They saw an opportunity that they didn't need it to take, and Amethyst is here to finally kill the Dark Blues. They go up north with a very strategic maneuver, and they capture the capital and the peninsula of Dark Blue. And Amethyst takes the rest what's there to grab before parts are, well, in hands of other countries. They take this, and of course we see also Night Blue taking the rest what they can have. Dark Blue is gone. At least their government has fallen to the Amethysts. But there still needs to be a peace treaty when the war with Night Blue is over. Amethyst sends some forces to Peanut Brown, but when Night Blue gets the news that they also are getting attacked by Amethyst forces, they open the front in the old Dark Blue territory. And they are quick to get every part of Amethyst. They capture a whole part and they go back to the major older part of Dark Blue where their capital is, because now Night Blue is here to capture the capital. Peanut Brown is able to get their capital fully back, Amethyst gives it back, and Peanut Brown is able to fight back the Night Blues, as the Night Blues are mostly getting an attack done in the north with old Dark Blue territory, and they have the whole coast for themselves. They even go back up north and free a part that they always had, and eventually Night Blue leaves their front here with Peanut Brown. They are not really even more caring about the war with Peanut Brown and Amethyst, they just want the capital of Dark Blue. And eventually Amethyst sees it as a lost cause to just stay there with the capital, and then they deliver the news to Night Blue that they can have the capital. And so they do. Lavender just watched every part of this war, and they now know a valuable ally for the future. Going back to Slate, we see that Korea has developed pretty well, with some few settlements. And Slate is going to discover something in this world that is going to be very important for future wars. As Slate is the first country to discover gunpowder here in South Korea. They quickly figure out what they can do with this, and now just bows and arrows are no more, swords are no more. Early guns are now in development, and Slate is the first to use this in the future. And that's going to be very interesting and very threatening because, well, they are in the World Destroyer Alliance. But Slate's very big question was, are they going to share this new material with the other two members? And for now they were not going to say anything about this new material gunpowder. They were going to stock up it for themselves and use it in the very near future if they really wanted to use it, as they were pretty interested in it for themselves for now. And also Slate was going to enlarge their empire, and they were going to thicken their coastline because they saw an opportunity right here where they found this material. No one was allowed to share this information with other countries, so for now it stayed in between the borders of Slate. But let's take a look at the peace treaty here in Mesopotamia. What is going to happen with Olive and what is going to happen with Dark Blue? This is how it will look like. We see Lavender taking 2 provinces from Olive, and the rest is going to be a puppet state of Lavender. Olive is fully, well, selfly operated. They will have the capital stay, but it will be something for Lavender. Lavender also gives up the provinces inside their puppet state, but they do keep the provinces that do keep the two separated. But these provinces are also going to be gone. We see Peanut Brown taking the whole Olive coastline they had, back their capital, and also the part that they always had before Night Blue infiltrated. And Amethyst gains nothing, and we see Night Blue do the same, as Dark Blue will be their puppet state, and they also will keep their capital. Now Mesopotamia is a little bit less chaotic, but Peanut Brown made maybe a bad mistake, as they claimed land that wasn't really theirs. This specific province, it belonged to Lavender, but people looked too quickly and Peanut Brown took it, without permission by Lavender. Lavender goes over with a pretty friendly offer to get it back. But Peanut Brown says no, we will let this be our land, it's not yours. And Lavender still says this is our land, we claim it, and they go back and forth with ships. Their people who lived here are still loyal to Lavender, not Peanut Brown. But there's not going to be an attack. This is going to be border dispute. Lavender and Peanut Brown both claim this province, and no one is agreeing on something. So it will stay as it is, a province claimed by 2 countries. The World Destroyer Alliance is going to adapt 2 new members, and Red and Lavender are responsible for those, as Olive is now a puppet state of Lavender and they are not running on their own. Remember, Orange was once a puppet state of Brown, but Brown let them rule their own country just by their own. They didn't really have Brown influence other than what the rules are for trading or economy or claiming. But Olive is fully puppet stated, if you can call it like that. They don't have much rights on their own, so that's why they have a lighter color of Lavender. If I had colored this in as Olive, they had more rights, so then I had to give them the World Destroyer Alliance. But now they are really underruled by Lavender, so they get the World Destroyer Alliance automatically. But there are 2 countries who are very influenced by Red and Lavender. Mainly Beige is a country influenced by Lavender. They know they slipped that information out of their country when a translator just said to the world, these 2 countries are working together, Red and Lavender. Beige is under control and is being threatened to be annexed if they don't go along with the following plan. They have to join the World Destroyer Alliance. Beige doesn't really see a way out of this, so they join the alliance. Another country is very influenced, Yellow. It's brought back because of red, but red states the following. You are able to run on your own if you do the following. Join the World Destroyer Alliance. Also, they are scared to do nothing, to say no, to decline this offer. It's not really an offer anymore. So they are forced to join the alliance. And so they do. Red and Lavender both did this roughly at the same time, as this was their plan all along, so that they have more power, more men to attack the next country of their plan. Red is going to attack the Diamond Alliance, but most importantly, their rival, Brown. Red prepared a lot for this. After they annexed Blue, they were preparing to go infiltrate Brown. They have now men from Yellow, from Lavender, from Slate, from Beige, and from themselves. They have many men to fight with. The first settlement is taken quickly by the Reds in the first province, and they quickly sweep across the whole southern coast of Brown, and Brown is really slow to react to this. When they eventually do attack back, it is barely nothing. They have lost so much land, sea green, bronze, butter. They don't really have much power and men to fight back. Red is going behind them and infiltrate them from behind and circle them in. The whole front is getting attacked and everyone is getting killed. The next settlement is in danger and captured by the Reds. And now they're going up north with a very large front. And Brown is not able to stop them. This is the third country that the World Destroyer Alliance is attacking and they are unstoppable. Of course we have Magenta who will help out Brown before Red goes too far. Red joins back up with the border of Magenta since a very long time and they capture this whole settlement and province. All these provinces are taken and captured by the Reds. Magenta doesn't attack yet, but if they do, they know they can't go back. It's not a great war, as no other country other than these two are in an alliance, in the same alliance. If Red would attack Orange, then we would have a fourth great war. But even the World Destroyers don't want that. Red is going up alongside the border of Magenta and they gain another settlement. And quickly the whole province is in their hands. They go alongside the coast and capture as many provinces as they can. Even boats from Yellow are arriving and Yellow attacks a part of Brown. These are purely Yellow soldiers who are fighting against Brown alongside Red. Even Yellow is able to get a new settlement. And this is now a very good message to let you all see how Brown has fallen in the last few episodes. Yellow goes even more up north and they gain much more land out of this. Red as well. And they slowly are circling in these two provinces. They go from the outside in with many troops from many sides. It's a full front war and Brown is lost. But finally Magenta is attacking the Reds back. They free a major part of Brown and they attack the front one from behind, and Red wasn't really expecting that. They thought Magenta was going to sit back and relax for this war, but they weren't. Magenta even rescues another settlement in the south and is going to attack Red from the north. But Red isn't stupid. They are going to attack Magenta as well on the islands. Their first boat lands and they capture the island in pretty much a week or two. The upper island as well, and Red has now major parts of Magenta. The boats go even thus far that they land here in mainland Magenta, pretty close to the capital. The capital is really secure with many boats here along the side, as Magenta now knows that the Reds are very close by. They break through a front and they go inside the Magenta's territory. Yellow has a very successful campaign and they land their troops on Britain. They capture a settlement, a province, and they go to the next one. As many troops arrive, Brown has lost. They know Yellow is getting funded by many other countries than just themselves. Slate, Lavender, Beige, they all are working together with Red and Yellow to attack brown. And now yellow has their troops on the front door of the capital of brown. Since many years the capital is threatened and no one is there to help. Sea green is here and watches the war. They are not going to help them out. Gold and gray are not doing anything as well yet again. They're silently watching how brown is crumbling once again for the third time. The first time was with orange. The second time was when the parts broke away. And the third time is here. Third time's the charm. And yellow circles the brown capital in. And it's a rough battle. Brown is almost captured. The capital city is almost taken. And in one night, the last night, the capital has fallen into the hands of yellow. Brown has fallen. Magenta knows this. They know what happened. Brown eventually doesn't respond anymore. And the news quickly spreads through orange as well. And the shield pact knows what's happening now. The whole shield pact. Brown has lost. And they quickly surrender over to yellow and red. But before they did that, yellow got one last province. Brown surrenders. And yellow is able to sort of claim Britain. And red is able to claim the rest. And now magenta is scared for what happened. They know they are going to be the next one. As red is not going to stop, they are able to get another settlement. And their whole front is quickly won over by the reds. It's very hard to see another country fall in the hands of the world destroyers. They really are the strongest countries in the world, and together with many other stronger countries, magenta is just barely anything. The Diamond Alliance departed, and magenta is here to fight back until the last minute. Troops of red are very close from many sides to capture the capital. Magenta is able to fight back reasonably well before they are able to get the capital. Even magenta shouts to the shield pact to help magenta. Red is on their doorsteps again since the first Great War. But the shield pact doesn't reply. Well, some countries do reply, such as orange with a sadly no, green with a sad no, magenta, purple and all the others don't give a response. Even magenta shouted help for gold and gray, but they are not wanting to help magenta. Then magenta even shouts for the square pact to help, but the square pact also isn't really keen on helping magenta. And after holding back both fronts and are almost able to get 3 settlements back at the same time, yellow is landing their troops on Sicily. They have sailed pretty far to do another attack with some Slate, beige and lavender troops. They are able to get the whole Sicily part and go up the boot. And now lavender knows that they have to surrender before they are taken fully. But many troops do not reply to that, don't respond. They want to fight back before they are fallen. They are able to get the island back on the south. And they are able to free the most eastern settlement. To the west, red is pushing through. Now even more. They're able to fight back and get a whole new settlement in the north, and provinces by provinces are taken. It's just a matter of time before red wins. In the north they are even able to fight and get another settlement. The troops are killed here at the front, and then they are marching to the capital. The battle of the capital is rough, and they know magenta isn't really weak. They go around the capital and they are trying to fight back. Some troops arrive and they are able to fight back the reds, but not fast enough. And the red is circling in their capital. More boats are landing and they are able to fight back many troops that once lost towards the magentas. The island is back won over. The settlement that they got is won over again. More and more of the provinces are taken. Here in the north, and yellow goes up the boot even more. And another rough battle of a capital is happening. And in one night, one last night, the capital of magenta has fallen in the hands of red. They take a last few settlements and provinces in the south before the peace treaty could begin. Magenta and brown lost. A war that no one knew they could win. The World Destroyers are just too powerful. But suddenly, in many parts of brown and magenta, troops are getting killed from yellow and red. Slowly but surely, the countries are figuring out what's happening and they take back some parts. Inside the infiltrated parts, magenta is fighting back where they see that they can. The troops that they were attacked by are fighting each other. What is happening? Everyone asks. Brown people are also fighting back near the capital too. It's going over the whole front from brown to magenta. One of the World Destroyer countries is attacking the rest. And quickly, many troops from red and lavender are killed alongside yellow and beige. Because Slate used their gunpowder and shot many people to their death.